All right, what's up everybody? So in this video, I want to share a piece of gear with you guys that I'm shocked has not received the attention that I personally think it deserves. It's severely underrated. In my opinion, this is one of, if not the best budget preamps on the market, and I'm shocked that nobody talks about this thing. It's not like it's a new piece of gear or anything. It's been around for a very long time. It just has not received the praisal that I honestly truly believe that it should. And I'm going to just, kind of dive into it a little bit more and share some of the reasons on why I think this thing is so special. And honestly, even if you already own some preamps and interfaces, I still think you're going to be, at the end of this video, very tempted to go out and pick one up for yourself. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. So the piece of gear that I'm talking about is the ArtTube MP Studio. And like I had mentioned, I'm genuinely surprised it has not received the amount of attention that I truly believe it deserves. This thing is unbelievable when we break down the specs on it. Some of the specs that I thought were a little bit more worth mentioning are: it can supply a total of up to 70 decibels of gain. It has an EIN of -129. It has a tube inside the unit, so you can be able to get a little bit of sonic character out of this preamp. It's not going to sound as dry as just running it into your audio interface would. And last but not least, it has a 2000 ohm input, and it will work with virtually any microphone that you own. I was a little worried that it wouldn't work as well with my SM7B, since this microphone is rated at 150 ohms. And if you guys have seen my videos, you know that I like to go about 20 to 25 times that with my impedance. So that's why the MPA2, for example, works so well with me, because I can go up to 3000 ohms, which is 20 times that of the microphone. But being that the Tube MP Studio is right at about 2000, it works out actually surprisingly well. In my opinion, this sounds still very clean with the SM7B. The SM7B is known to be a little bit more dark, but to me, this still has a little bit of air and brightness to it that I like. I actually enjoy the way that this sounds. And if you ask me, this sounds a lot better than just going directly into your audio interface. You guys know me, you know how much I love analog equipment and how much I just stress the importance of having a good, solid, dedicated microphone preamp. If you are somebody who is on a tight budget, this is a fantastic, super amazing deal. At the end of the day, this thing costs $50. And can supply up to 70 decibels of gain at an EIN of -129. It is unbelievable that that is even possible, that you can find something for that cheap. And oftentimes, if you didn't even want to buy this thing brand new, $50 brand new, mind you, if you didn't want to buy it brand new and you want to go out and buy this thing used, you could absolutely find these things going for $20, $30, on eBay all the time. They sell for that. It's it's unbelievable. This is a no-brainer. I think honestly, even if you already have preamps in your studio, this is something that you should consider buying before they're gone, because I have a very strong feeling that this will not last forever. $50 for this thing. I do believe that these will be gone. These will sell out. One thing that I did want to mention, and honestly, this is something that I think is going to become obsolete in 2021, but is cloud lifters with the SM7B. Everybody recommends and pairs the SM7B with the cloud lifter because of the fact that the SM7B requires so much more gain than the traditional condenser microphone. But the fact of the matter is, with most preamps and interfaces that you're using, they can more than likely supply enough gain for the SM7B with a low enough EIN that having a cloud lifter would make absolutely no sense. And then that is where the Tube MP Studio comes into effect. You could buy one of these things, which will give you 70 decibels of gain at -129 EIN. I talk about this all the time. -129 is low enough to the point where you will literally never hear hissing in your recording at all. It's just not possible. Most interfaces can handle the SM7B. The only issue is that a lot of interfaces just don't supply enough gain to get the most out of this thing. This can supply up to 70 decibels of gain. That can cover the SM7B. You will be totally fine in that department. As I was about to mention, you could buy a DBX 266 XS used on eBay anywhere from about $70 to $100. And then if you wanted to buy the Tube MP Studio new, which is what I would recommend, honestly, $50. You can get a setup that could be cheaper or the exact same price as getting the cloud lifter. Now, the only difference is with the Tube MP Studio, you could use this with condenser microphones. With the Cloudlifter, on the other hand, you can only use that with your dynamic microphones. You can't do anything with your condenser microphones with a Cloudlifter. With the MP Studio, you could plug in a condenser microphone later down the road if you end up buying one, and you can drive the tube inside of this thing and get some really awesome character out of it with a condenser microphone. This thing, in my opinion, is way more versatile than a Cloudlifter is. This, with a 266XS compressor, the gate, you are going to get much better quality than you would have with just the SM7B and the Cloudlifter going into your interface. Nowadays, if people ask me what do I recommend for the SM7B if you want to get the most out of it, I'm going to absolutely recommend this setup right here, or instead of the 266XS, I would recommend the FMR Audio RNC. That's another compressor. I would recommend right now for this vocal chain with the SM7B, if you are on a very tight budget, the Tube MP Studio and the 266XS, which you can buy used for anywhere from $70 to $100. I see them going for that all the time on eBay. The only time that I think it makes more sense to have a Cloudlifter than something like this would be if you were using a portable setup and you had no wall outlets around you, because with something like this, you need to be able to plug this in. With like the Cloudlifter, for example, you can plug that into a Zoom H5, a portable recorder, and you could use the phantom power on the portable recorder to power the Cloudlifter and then get more gain out of the SM7B. Now, most of you guys watching this probably don't have a portable setup and don't care for that and are around wall outlets. So in that case, it would make way more sense, in my opinion, to use the Tube MP Studio and a 266XS and then run that audio into your audio interface and then record that into your DAW. If you ask me, that is where I am at this point in time. That's where I stand. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap it up. Stay tuned because I do have another piece of analog gear that's going to be coming in. I think a lot of you guys are going to be interested in. We're going to be using that with the Tube MP Studio. It's a very budget analog chain. We're going to take a look at it, and honestly, in my opinion, it's going to be a setup that I think a lot of you guys are going to be behind as well, because it just produces a very professional quality results. So stay tuned for that. We will get to that once that comes in. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up the video. If you haven't already yet, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon beside it so that you can stay notified for whenever I drop any of my upcoming videos. With that being said, I will see you all in my next one. Take care, everybody. Peace out.